Ah, a successful sacrifice, the one who waits hummed. He grinned down at his vessel who stood before him. He had previously had reservations about this lamb. He had feared they would follow in their mentor's footsteps and abstain from sacrifices entirely. The lamb proved to be a far more competent vessel than that gutless rat. "I am pleased," he said. All three of his scarlet eyes focused on the lamb. The tiny creature's ears perked up. They seemed to glow under their praise. The lamb held their paws together in glee. But then their smile fell, and their ears wilted down. The red crown popped off the lamb's head to inspect them. Odd indeed. Perhaps today will be a short visit. The one who waits prepared to teleport his vessel back. Time to... "Wait!" the lamb called. The one who waits paused. His vessel hadn't said a word to him since they agreed to run the cult in his name. Seems now they are ready to speak. Interesting. The lamb was trembling, but despite that, their voice was steady. They held their paws together in prayer. "I have a question concerning some of our followers," they said. Their shoulders rose, and then they smiled shyly up at him. "Also, could you, lean down a bit? My neck hurts," Lamb explained. They swayed shyly back and forth. Their neck did hurt, but they also asked their lord to come down to ease the lamb's own nerves. Lamb was going into uncharted seas. Ratau had highly encouraged the lamb to speak with their lord. He had joked at the time that if the cowardly Ratau could do it, then the lamb certainly could. It wasn't that the lamb was truly afraid of the one who waits. They were definitely nervous, but never afraid. At the lamb's words, the twin cats who worked as the guards for the one who waits, locked eyes. Once they did, their minds linked so they could speak to each other through their thoughts alone. Was the first to engage. "Insolent little!" Baal responded, quick as a dagger. "Easy. Master won't entertain this." Both cats met with quite a surprise. They both internally jolted as their master crouched down between them. The one who waits laid down, then rested on his arms. Even laying on the sands and clouds, the one who waits still towered over his little lamb. The one who waits didn't seem to mind this at all. "Aren't you bold, asking your god of such things?" he teased. Truly, the lamb was changing. Perhaps running their cult gave them a boost in confidence. Good. He'd keep an eye or two on their progress. The lamb tried very hard not to fall back. Oh my, they stammered. Their tail began to wag. The crown popped off the lamb's head. The crown remembered the mind of their previous bearer. It knew what the one who waits was doing. Its mental link with the lamb was still developing. The crown hoped their crowd bearer could hear them. "Baby they, he's playing you," it whispered. Sadly, either the lamb didn't hear its message, or the lamb was too awestruck to notice. A lamb waved their paws in front of their blushing face. Having their lord closer was supposed to help. Seeing him so close only reminded the lamb how beautiful their master was. And that deep voice was not helping. I meant no harm, my lord, they exclaimed. They held their paws up in surrender. Be at ease, vessel, the one who waits replied. He wanted his lamb to be on edge, yes, but being afraid was not necessary. Lamb was still learning. The one who waits shall guide them onto the correct path. Being bold for our cult is necessary. However, don't forget your place, he commanded. Lamb ducked their head down. Was that a pout he saw? Yes, master, they whispered. Cute, but once again unnecessary. Chains clinked as the one who waits reached for his lamb. He placed his thumb under their chin and guided their head up. Chin up, vessel, he commanded. The lamb slowly nodded their head. Their jaw was dropped to the ground. The lamb was having a bit of an internal crisis. All of their thoughts consisted of how beautiful those eyes were. Reading his vessel like a book, the one who waits chuckled. You mentioned having questions? He prompted. His words rattled the lamb out of their trance. Yes, I do, they squeaked. The one who waits rested his muzzle in his paw. My, still so shy, he thought to himself. Lamb took a moment to collect themselves. Then they nodded. The crown snapped up, then spread out into the air. It brought forth a couple of memories from the lamb's mind. My first follower passed away today, the lamb said. Their gaze focused on the crown. The memory. It was right after the lamb's first resurrection. The lamb was smiling up at a large brown dog. Lamb had just saved him from a pack of heretics. The lamb had cheered, I want you to join my cult. The dog looked very confused down at their hero. You're what? He replied. The lamb had learned that day that the dog's name was Huge. Lamb sighed at that memory. The memory started to shift. The crown reflected them all for the present. Huge was cynical and strong, which made him very clever. When he saw that the crops wouldn't grow, he taught the lamb how to make grassy gruel so no one would go hungry. Huge had been the first in many. He had been the first in the lamb's flock to grow old. He was also the first to fall in love. Lamb placed their chin in their paw. Huge was... Despite the memories of Huge being shown, the lamb struggled to speak of the dog. Lamb's eyes trailed over the moments, and then their eyes fell to the clouds below. How do they explain to an immortal god that Lamb missed their first friend? The lamb's own grief isn't what brought them here today. Their crown popped back to the lamb's brow. Lamb didn't want to show any more. His love, Fire Tree, Lamb couldn't finish that thought. Their gaze narrowed. They remembered it. They remembered this morning. It had been right after Huge had been buried. Fire Tree came to the lamb. The lamb held out their paws to the grieving cat, and Fire Tree responded by resting her paws in the lamb's. She stood tall as she made her request. My leader, I have given my life to you. I now wish to give you my death, she explained with a melancholy smile on her face. She was not afraid. This is what she wanted. Please, my lamb, sacrifice me so I may join my beloved Huge. The lamb's throat had closed and their heart had shattered. Lamb had already lost one of their most devoted, and now they were about to lose another. As you wish, the lamb had replied. For their flock, for Fire Tree, the lamb would do anything. Their cult had started that day with Hyuge's funeral. Then the day ended with Fire Tree's sacrifice. Today was a hard day. That is what brought the lamb before their Lord today. The lamb wrapped their arms around themselves. She couldn't be without him. It's for them I have a question, my lord. I've warned you about this before, Vessel. The playful tone was gone. The lamb looked up and their ears leapt up in surprise. Their master was frowning. The lamb was in trouble. Hey, my lovely cupcakes, and hey, welcome anyone new. Welcome in. My name is LC Rowe. Usually I post Five Nights at Freddy's content and regular reaction videos. Not this month, because this month for October of 2024, we are only posting about Cult of the Lamb. So welcome to my Cult of Lamb comic. Fan comic, mind you. And I hope y'all have enjoyed it. I'm having so much fun writing it. I love my lamb. I love my lamb. I'm in this chapter, the first chapter of our comic. We have 5 chapters all together. We meet the lamb, we meet the one who waits, Ball, and the 2 big characters pushing the lamb forward, Hyuge and Fire Tree. So very big characters, kind of an introduction to everybody, an introduction to the plot, and it's pretty fun. So I'm just sorry, I love this comic. So this comic is already up. It's already finished. It's up on, pardon me. So it's actually up on my Tumblr on LC Comics, but also it'll be featured here on my channel every Thursday. And now, shameless plugs aside, I'm having so much fun with this comic. I love my lamb, my little baby. So I'm just calling my lamb Lamb for now. They do have a name. It's not Lambert. There is something with Lambert that I won't address yet. Just know it's coming. I have a lot of comic ideas for my lamb. I love them. They do have a name. I won't say it yet because eventually it's going to be its own comic that I will somehow get over here to YouTube. So stay tuned. Same with Narinder, the one who waits. I'm only going to call him the one who waits in this AU until we introduce him. He gets introduced to us as Narinder. Right now, just the one who waits. And it's so cool. I don't know how to explain it. I love getting to write the lamb and exploring them because right now they just started the cult. Like they're star-eyed, they're very excited and interested and new. But even then, they still have this innocence to them and this veracity, and they're just fantastic. They're so much fun. And I love that the one who waits is just like intrigued by them, but also like he's almost playing with his food, so to speak. I love this comic. I love this comic. I love it. And there's more coming. So following another reaction video next week, we will have chapter 2 of this comic. What do you guys think is going to happen? And what do you think are the fates of Hyuge and Fire Tree? We will simply have to find out. I will see you all next time on our lovely show. Bye!